Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dardashat. Dardashat in Aramaic is an open talk show. And today we have an interview, an informal talk show with someone very important to us, a tour leader all the way from Texas by the name Debra Tobolka. And we are so excited because she's one of our favorite tour leaders, and we're going to get to know her more and hear about her. And Debra, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you serve?
My name is Debra Tobolka. As you know, I serve at First Baptist Wylie in Wylie, Texas. I've been here 16 years in this position. I've been to Israel. I think it was 2008 was my first year to go to Israel. Well, we went, let me say, back up, 2007, but we joined with you guys in 2008, and we've been with Twin Tours ever since.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about Wylie and the church you serve in?
Oh, we're a small community, but the city is growing in upon us. We have members on roll. We have about 4,600 on roll. Warm bodies that come in. We have, I want to say, close to maybe about 2,200 people. We have been going on missions since COVID. We've been going to New York and staying in the United States. This year, we're adding international trips. We're adding only 3. We're adding Costa Rica, we're adding England, and we're adding Israel back, because we have been numerous times to England, numerous times to Israel, and the groundwork is there for us. We know who we're going with, what we're doing, because we've been there numerous years. So we're getting slow back into it, and we're really excited about being able to go international again.
So I can see that the church is focused on mission groups. So how many countries in the world do you go?
We normally go to about 7 countries.
Wow.
But, you know, like I said, we're just going to 3 different countries this year besides the US. And then next year, we will get back into Ecuador. We will get back into Dominican Republic and these other countries.
Great. So you are located in Wylie, Texas.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you tell us about the town, Wylie, a little bit?
It's a small community. Well, we're, like I said, that the city is growing in on us. Yeah. We have, it's just a real sweet little spirit town. We are in between Allen and Rockwall, if you know that. And then we have Garland, Saxe. So anyway, these are Saxe and Murphy. They're small communities that surround us. And then we have Rockwall, which is a little bit bigger, and then Allen a little bit bigger. So we're in a sweet spot of 2 lakes.
Great. So what is your favorite, where is your favorite mission in the world?
Israel.
I know you travel a lot. Israel.
Yes, I do travel a lot. I will be going to Costa Rica here pretty soon. I go to New York a lot, but I'll be going to Costa Rica with our Spanish pastor next month, and I'm excited about that. But my favorite spot that holds my heart is Israel.
So why Israel? Why it's special to you, Israel?
The reason why it's special is because we have the Word of God. In the Word of God, it's there. That's where God came down. That's where Jesus came down. And why not Israel? Why not learn about the history of the Bible? And it's just it's just amazing. It's just amazing. There's not another trip like it. I've been on, you know, the states, all of the state trips. I've been to different countries, but there is something very special about Israel.
I can see that. I can see your compassion. I can see your heart. Even I can see the flag on the shelf and the word go and the flag of Israel. This is wonderful. Do you remember how many times you've been to Israel?
Yes, it's been since 2007, I started going. Sometimes I've been there twice a year, but we've been with Twin Tours since 2008. And Twin Tours, Tony and Andre, they are like family to us because they come here in the States, they visit with us. Tony even met us in New York and did a week of mission work with us when we were in New York numerous years ago. And, you know, when you're in a foreign country, you have to have great connections. You have to feel secure, and you have to have people that are on top of the game.
Especially for locals. And because like you said, we are like one family and one community, and we connected together for so many years.
Yes.
And this is how it goes. It's all about relationships in Israel. And let me ask you a few questions related to your mission trips. And if you can share with me, what is your favorite place to visit in Israel? I know there are so many sites. I know there is Galilee and there is Jerusalem. But what is your favorite place on your heart and why?
That's hard. That is so hard because, you know, I just love it all, but it's something about the Sea of Galilee.
I see.
That's where, I mean, Jesus calmed the storm. That's where Jesus walked on the water. That's where he, you know, the Beatitudes, I mean, that's where he lived at. And that's very special. But also I found another special place which runs real close to the Sea of Galilee is Shiloh. I love Shiloh. Shiloh is where the tabernacle first settled at. And it's a beautiful area. And
yeah, it's an amazing site. Shiloh is an amazing site because not many groups visit there. But I want to tell you, Debra, that your church is different, is unique, because when you come to Israel, you do not only tour the sites, you do hands-on mission and ministry. Can you tell us, like, because you join both, you bring a lot of people to do mission work and to serve. Can you share a little bit with us about what you do also?
Okay, when we do arrive in Israel, we go to one of the hospital areas and we serve at one of the local hospitals in the community. I will not mention the name, but we serve there. We do whatever is needed. If it's painting, if it's moving furniture, if it's even outside painting curbs and those round knobs out in the middle of the street that you know you paint it and here comes a car and they're going to hit it. A group of us will stay at the hospital and we will do that. But then we have another group that will go down to serve Nazareth. And this is the Nazareth village. And they will dress up. And what it is a recreation of the first century. And they love it. They are a witness there. You know, by saying hello and letting their light within their lives shine out to these people. And, you know, if they're asked, they will share. But it's just an amazing, thousands of people come through that Nazareth village a day, and it's just awesome. Our people just love doing that.
Yeah, because when people go back home, they continue talking about their mission trip and they continue talking about their experience in Israel, and that they're not only receiving, they are giving. And that is great because your groups are way different. They have a servant heart. they give to the community, and they not only take. And after giving into the community, they also tour the sites, and they get so much learning about the culture, learning about the history, learning about many things from the Bible. The Bible comes alive to them. And when they go back home, what is some of the reaction when they go back to Texas?
When we get them back, when we come back home, they go, when are we going back again? That's the first thing. And they're sharing, we'll have a debrief meeting, and they will share their heartbeat, and, you know, not only with the ones that went, but with others, especially our staff. And they just love hearing it. But I mean, our people are very special here at First Baptist Wylie. If you're looking for a church home and you're in the area, stop by, visit us, give us a try. Or if you just want to come and check us out, we would love to have you, because I've been in, you know, I served at another First Baptist church. But this one has just captivated my heart. And if it's captivated my heart, it's the Jesus within me. So it's captivated his heart as well.
Yes, me too. I was twice even was able to share with so many people, and I felt like home. It felt like a part of the community when I visited. And I want to tell you that very soon I'm gonna visit again, Debra, and be with you and the church.
Good. You will. We will be glad to have you. Looking forward to it, because I have a lot of growth groups that I would love to put you in front of. Also, I have meetings that I would love for you to lead up, and maybe if we could get it fit in, maybe a conference, you know, open it up for all to come in here.
Yes, and I will share about the trip, because there's a next trip that's going to be organized. Can you tell us about this trip? It's happening in October. And can you tell us more about it? September, October this year?
Well, we leave here on September the 18th. Yay. And we will land it 19th. And then we will depart, be back October 1st. We will do our mission work up front, and then we will tour a little bit, and then we will go into the city, and we will partner with a church, and we will serve with this church at nighttime. Whatever the need is, we're there. We want to come alongside this church to love upon them, to let them know, hey, we are in the U.S. and we've been praying for you. Something about the unity, the oneness, and because that's what Christ wants. You know, when we get to heaven, it's going to be all nationalities. And so anyway, and that's one thing about Israel. You have all nationalities there, because when you see all walking around touring or being at Nazareth Village, you see all different nationalities. And it's just like a touch, a glimpse of heaven right there, with all the different nationalities in one location. So it's going to be a little beautiful there. And then we head back home on the 1st. So, and share with everybody else and get them geared up. We'll start before I leave. I will go ahead and set my dates with Tony and Andre on my trip for next year. So I look forward to that, because like I said, I love Israel.
Usually you come twice a year.
Yeah, I've been twice a year.
Yeah.
I would love to do that again, but you know, with us just kicking all the new trips, we just starting up with adding new trips with us, you know, with the church next year, different international trips. It may kind of slow me down, but I don't think so. So who knows? You know, I'm ready. Anytime he says, Debra, it's time for you to go to Israel, Debra will.
We
Real.
can see that, Deborah, from your personality. You're always ready, and despite of COVID, you want to come and preparing people. How you prepare the people before you come? Do you do some meetings for them, and how is the process with you?
Okay, the process is like Sunday. Our signups will be in the mall. You know, we're in the mission fair right now, introducing all of our trips to the church, and then we've done it 2 weekends in a row. Then Sunday I will have a meeting on Israel and share with them. Okay, this is what the mission trip is about. If you're interested, okay, you know, let's go a little deeper. I need you to fill out an application. Let's get all your paperwork in, and then, you know, get that deposit in. Then we start our meetings. And our meetings consist of, I have a Bible study. I have someone to come in and teach the Bible study for me, because when these people are on the field, they're going to hear me enough. They're going to hear me enough on the field. So I kind of back out of the picture, set up the meetings, and I allow somebody to come in and do the Bible study. But then I will share, if I have any updates from you guys, I will share those updates. One thing that I have is that by a certain date, you have to have your trip already paid for, because that helps me purchase the airfare. And also that gives me money to send to y'all in advance, where we could have a cash flow there. And then we pay the trip off a month before we arrive. But our meetings, we will have y'all to Zoom in and meet our people, where you could get a visual of who they are, and if they had any questions about the trip, or you know, or just say, hey, yeah, I'm so and so, where, you know, you could have a little personal touch with them. So that's what our meetings are about. We have fundraisers. We raise some of our funds. You know, let's just face it, you know, trips not expense is not cheap, but that what little you do make will help. So, and I try and expose the people to go to Arab church here in Plano, and then we will go to a Messianic congregation, which is in Dallas. So I try and give them a little taste of the culture, and by going and eating. So we just form a bond early, because as a team leader, I got to know who I could count on the field. The more personal time I spend with them, it lets me know some of their weaknesses, where I could know, oh, this one don't need to serve here. This one needs to go over here. And when you room people, okay, this would be a good match. So anyway, I just like to spend time with those people, because I'm going to be in a different country from my own, different surroundings, and I have got to know these people. So I spend time with them.
Yeah, that's great, because you prepare them way in advance. And the more you prepare people in advance, the more successful will be the tour, and they will grab the most of the experience when they come here, because they're already prepared and they're already ready. So that is wonderful, because you invest so much time in the groups, and you do so many meetings. And many times I come and also prepare the groups, and we do a lot of Zoom meetings for this preparation. Do you know how many people around are coming to the next September trip?
Well, right now I have 26 people that are interested. How many do? Because we have to, when I have my meeting Sunday, you know, you have to have vaccination. And I don't know who does or doesn't, but the ones that are serious about going, they've told me they know about the vaccination. I've got vaccinated. So I'm looking at 20 for sure.
Great.
The other, I don't know. I will find out more about them whenever we come together Sunday. So pray for us about that meeting.
Sure, and I want to tell you that groups already starting to come to Israel, and there are some groups in the country in March and April and May. So it's more opening, and the rules are getting easier and easier and easier, but still people need to be vaccinated in order to come. But we are having a glimpse of light at the end of the tunnel. And we are seeing that more people are really like Israel is opening back and all the world is opening back and things are getting better. So we keep praying and we are very hopeful and we are very optimistic that when you come back on September till October, things will be way better.
Awesome. That's good. Good to hear. I'm glad for you guys because that was a burden, because I know tourism is really big. And I mean, every country is God's country, but this one's very special because, yeah, God come down other places too, but this is where, and I feel like his hand is over Israel and the people that live in Israel. So my heart was heavenly burdened because knowing that, you've got to have funds, you've got to live, you've got to pay your bills, and you got to eat, you got to clothe yourself and children and adults, senior adults, so this is really good. Love hearing this. Love hearing this.
It's been like close for almost 2 years, but God is good and we trust him so much, and it's great that we have friends like Debra and the Wylie Church, First Baptist, and we connected. Even there were no tourists coming, we were still connecting together and stayed in touch and praying for each others and standing with each others. Like churches in the West is standing with churches in the East, and it's been really hard time, tough times, but God is great. He always his hands was always holding us, and we were able to sustain these 2 hard years, and because of friends from different parts of the USA, and because of people praying for us and supporting us, and especially Debra and the team at Wylie Church. We want to thank you, Debra, so much for your heart. We can see your compassion, and thank you for sharing a little bit with us about your home church and your background, about Wylie, Texas, in the middle of nowhere. It's such a beautiful small town. And I love the coffee shop, the Shoemaker coffee shop, right?
It's still here. It's waiting on you.
They are believers, the owners of the shop?
Well, they sold the shop, but the people that purchased it is going to keep it the same. They have the same coffee and everything. So yeah, it's waiting on you to come back to get a cup of coffee.
I'll tell you, Debra, very soon, hopefully this summer, I will be able to come back and just spend some time in in that coffee shop. And I want to tell you one thing. I love Debra so much, every time she comes, she brings us coffee from that place, which the pecan one is so tasty, the pecan coffee. So it's wonderful, the smell and the taste of Wylie, Texas. And like you love Israel, I love Texas. I am like, I love being there, and I love visiting your home church. And welcome everyone again to Dar Dashat, to the Aramaic word of informal talk show with tour leaders, different tour leaders from different parts of the states. And we enjoyed so much today with you, Debra. Thank you for your time. I know you are so busy and you're holding a lot of things in your hands and preparing so many mission trips all over the world. And thank you for your heart, and thank you for like being part of friendship, part of Twins Tours family. We felt like a family, and thank you for what you do, and thank you for bringing groups despite of what's happening, and keeping this compassion of your heart. You glow when you come to Israel. We see that a lot in you, and it's so fun to see you again very soon in September, and it will be a great time together.
Andre, I don't know what I will do when I get there. My husband told me, he said, when Israel opens up, I want you to go over there 1 week. And I'm going, are you for real? Really? And he said, yes, I want you to do that. And he said, you get it all lined out. And the more I thought about it and I prayed about it, and I didn't get peace with God about it. And he showed me through his word that when I go, I'm to go with my team, because my team needs to see how enthused and how I love Israel. They need to see that, because it's going to catch like wildfire for those that will be with us. So who knows, I might kiss the ground. I see a lot of people doing that. I may do that.
Yeah, we can see your
Yes.
heart. We can see like your compassion, and it's all in God's timing. And we can see
Yes,
how
yes,
much you love Israel, and you love not only Israel, you love the people in Israel, in the
yes,
land.
yes,
You love
yes. Oh,
Christians, you love Arabs, you love Jews, you love Muslims, and you bring a lot of like grace to the land when you come. You know, when every group come, it builds spiritually for the other group that comes. And because it's a spiritual warfare, and we need more people like you to come to Israel and bring mission trips and come to see the land and be a blessing and serve. And as I told you, you are different, your groups are different, and they are very spiritual. And we love partnering together, and we love your heart, and we can see it so clear on you and your compassion. So thank you so much for today. And thank you everyone for Dardashat. And we will see you next week. God bless your hearts.